This is Ryan Abraham, FSBulldogs.com. Fresno State football practice, spring ball number 7. Coach Nick Toth here, the defensive coordinator. How's it been going so far?
It's been going great. You know, our energy level is phenomenal. Our young guys that we redshirted and stuff like that have really caught on to that. And they've bought into the fanatical effort part of it. So that's been fun to watch. We got a lot of things to clean up. You know, like you do in spring ball, we're missing some tackles. We've got a lot more blitzing than we've ever had. So you're seeing some missed assignments there. But I like our physicality right now, and I really like our energy.
You mentioned energy a couple of times. Is that really the most important thing out here? Just because, I mean, you don't have a game for months, but you want to see this energy? Yeah,
well, you better, man. If you're coming out here and putting all the time in that these kids do and that we put in, if you're not enjoying it, I mean, there's really something wrong. You know, I mean, we're blessed we get to be a part of this great game, and it pays for these young people's school. And if we don't have energy, we're starting out behind the 8 ball, you know. So that is not the most important thing, but it starts with that.
For you, what are kind of the goals for spring? What do you want to accomplish on defense?
Well, there's a bunch of goals. We got to make sure we are who we say we are. We got to make sure we're running the ball with the effort that we like. We got to make sure we're being physical, like we say we're going to be. We got to make sure that, you know, those are the identity questions. Now you get to the other questions, like, hey, what do you got to fix? Our secondary has to play better than they played last year. Our corner coverage, you know, our safeties, discipline, stuff like that. So we've been working the heck out of the coverage aspects of it. And tackling in space. We gave up a lot of big plays last year, missed tackles. We play 65 plays of good football. We play 8 of explosive football. So those are the things we've been working on.
You get time to reflect after the season. I know you mentioned tackling, the secondary. Turnovers are another thing. Is that something you need to improve on?
Yeah, you know, we were okay last year on takeaways. You know, we had 6 missed takeaway opportunities that if we got them, and they're plays that should have been made, dropped interceptions, fumbles that we didn't get picked up. We were about what we were the year before. We were special the year before. We were good last year. Takeaways are our identity, though. You know, we're going to smack quarterbacks and we're going to take the ball away. So yesterday we had 4. Today I think we got a couple. So we're doing okay with it. It's always a point of emphasis.
You got a new secondary coach, Marcus Woodson. How's he been fitting into the group?
Yeah, Marcus is awesome. Coach Wood's really good. Him and Coach Peterson together back there are a pretty good dynamic duo. Coach Woodson's knowledge of the game is well beyond his years. You know, he's coached in a 3-4 before. He's had all the secondary by himself. He's a technician. And then you add into that he is probably closer to my personality on the field than some of the other guys, you know. So we got some good balance there. I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off, jumping around being a clown. Coach Woodson's got a little more professionalism to it. Yeah. You know, he's a little more straight line, but then he goes crazy too. He'll have some energy. And then you have Coach Germano and Coach Peterson that kind of balance us out. So it's been great having Coach Wood in the mix. He is not a wait and fix it later guy, which is what we needed. We needed a guy that sees something wrong, and he's going to make sure the guys know, hey, we can't do that. Let's get it right. He's going to show them how. He's not going to cuss them about it. Hey, guys, this is what you did wrong. This is what you got to do next time. And it's been a huge help for us so far.
Now, it sounds like they're kind of switching as he's going to coach more of the cornerbacks last year. Is that your plan, or how'd that work?
Yeah, you know what we want? We want 2 secondary coaches. I don't want a corners coach, and I don't want a safeties coach. I was worried last year, you know, sometimes we didn't know the big picture. The first year I thought our secondary knew the big picture. We lost, you know, some guys there. We lost both those corners, really. You know, when LJ got hurt and S.A. was gone, Sean Austin was gone, and Phillip Thomas. So you had 3 guys gone out of that 4. And we kind of lost our overall knowledge of what was happening in this game. And I take the blame for that. We're stressing the heck out of having 2 coaches that can coach anything at any time back there. They might have a little bit better, you know, one might be better at coaching corners and press, one might be better at coaching safeties and robber. But there are 2 secondary coaches. You know, that's our goal, is to have 2 secondary guys back there.
And then one last thing for you. If the Fresno State fans that watched the defense last year, what's going to be the biggest difference from what in 2014 than what they saw in 2013?
Well, you know, we're deeper. I think we are a deeper team across the board. I think we're deeper in the secondary. I think that hurt us a little bit in the second half sometimes. I think as good a shape as we were in, man, we got in a couple of those games and we had some injuries and some guys that had to come off the field. And we weren't very deep. We didn't have a guy that could step in and necessarily be a playmaker. I think you're looking at 22 guys for the first time since we've been here on defense that can make plays. You know, the depth chart is finally getting closer to being right. Yeah. Making that move from a 4-3 to a 3-4. I think after we get these new guys here in the fall, I think we'll be really close to having the depth chart where we want it.
All right. Well, Nick Toth here, defensive coordinator for Fresno State. Check out FSBulldogs.com for more.